What is up, guys? Fahir here from AwesomeTuts.com, and in the previous video we are stuck in this frog loop infinite thing, and we said that we are gonna fix it in this video. So how can we fix it? Well, first thing, we need to remove the animation for the frog's position. So select it here in the animation panel. You see here for the animation, you will see on the left what is animated. So we have the sprite that is being animated and we have the frog position. So simply select the frog position and delete it. So now the frog's position is not animated anymore. If I preview the animation, you see the frog's position is not animated. I'm gonna also set the scale back to 1:1 for the frog because we are gonna right click and create an empty game object. This is gonna be the frog parent. And we are gonna set the frog parent to 0,0. Take the frog and attach it under the frog parent and set the frog's position 0,0 relative to its parent. And now we're gonna take the frog's parent and I'm gonna put him here. Set the scale for the frog parent to 0.3 because the children will follow the parent. Every change in terms of scale or position is made to the parent. The frog or the child game object will follow along. So next, we need to animate the frog again. So take the frog like this. Go into the animation and do the same exact thing. So we are gonna hit that record button, go on frame 9, which is this one right here, and make the frog jump and also move the frog something like this. And go on last frame and make the frog fall down. And voila, we are done. So now this is what we have again. So this is what we have. Now you can animate the frogs jumping smoother or higher or however you want it. You don't need to animate it same as I am. Maybe you can make the frog jump backwards or any other thing you want. Now again, take the X animation. So here the X frame and move it from the middle to the last frame. So now our frog jumps like this. And this is exactly what we want. So the frog, you see now, it jumps like this. Again, going back here, the frog is jumping. Maybe I can move the frog a little bit more upward, something like this. It will still jump down. You see, it will still jump down like this. So going here, something like this. Maybe if I take the X position, remove it, and actually we remove the whole animation. So yeah, again, silly me, take the frog, record it. So frog is jumping something like this, and maybe the frog goes up to here, going here, moving the frog down, and voila, we are done. So again, yeah, this is what we want. This is what we want. Take the X frame. So here is the X frame. Move it right here to the last frame. So now, yeah, this is totally okay. This is totally okay for our animation. Let's go in our code where the magic happens. So this event here, animation finish, will stay here at the last frame. So don't change it. Let me select it. Don't change it. Animation finish will be called. We need to go back here and what we are going to do. Well, when we jump here in the frog jump, we are gonna say that the animation, so animation started, not state, started, is equal to true. And animation finished, so finished, this one right here, is equal to false. So when we first jump, the animation has started and the animation did not finish. So the animation did not finish. In our animation finished right here, we are first gonna call animation finished. So animation finished, here it is equal to true. So that here we will denote the animation has actually finished. And now we are gonna go here, instead of update, we are gonna create the late update. So here we're gonna say late update. And what is the difference between update and late update? Well, update is called every frame in a second, which we already know, which means 60 frames. It will be called 60 times. Late update is called after the frame. And so at the end of the frame, any change you do in the update function, the calculations, for example, that you do in the update, they will be available. So the results of those calculations will be available in the late update. So when the update finishes, the late update will be called. Think of it like that. So in the late update, we're going to say if our animation finished, so animation finished, if this is true, and our animation started, not state, but started. What are we testing here? Well, we are testing if the animation has finished and the animation has started. So we started the animation and that animation has finished. Both of these, this needs to be true and this needs to be true because of this sign right here, double and sign. So this needs to be true and this also needs to be true in order for us to execute the if statement right here. So if this is true, we are first gonna call our started. So animation started is now false, so that this right here does not get executed again. So animation started is now false. And we're gonna call the transform.parent, and that the position of the transform parent is gonna be equal to our current position. So transform.position. And also transform.local position is equal to vector 3.0. This right here, these two lines of code that we just did, so these two lines of code will make the animation independent from its own position. So we are using the parent's position, positioning it at the current position of our own game object, and we're taking the local position. Now, the local position is the position of the transform relative to the parent. What does that mean, relative to the parent? Well, it means the following. If I, for example, take here, not copy, but I have one game object and I have another game object. Now this is the parent game object and this is the child game object. Now notice this, the parent game object is at position, for example, 4, 4. So the parent is at position 4, 4, but the child is at position 0, 0. This is the child's position relative to the parent. If I take the child and set it at 2 and 5, it is now, you see, it is over here. If I tag it like this is the child and this is the parent. You see, this is the parent and this is the child. So child's position is relative to the parent's position. This is that local position that we are doing. So we are setting the local position of the child to vector 3, 0. It will be at 0, 0, 0 for the position. And we can test it out now. So we can go here in Unity and I can hit enter. So notice now the frog jumps over here. And now the frog will go back here again. So it goes back, and let me just go, which animation did I set? Frog jump left. Yeah, this is what I'm seeing. So I'm going to take the frog idle, set it as a default. So frog idle left will be the default animation for the frog, not frog jump left, because as soon as we started the game, you saw the frog jumping. And notice now when I hit the play button, you see the frog now will jump. It will go, well, to his position. So it has jumped. And it stays at that position. It will go back. You see, it now jumps from that position. You see, it jumps from that position going towards our player. So this is how we actually fix that problem with the animation being on, well, repeating from the position where it is. So now the animation is independent from the position of the frog because of these techniques that we have implemented. Now we are still not done. We need to take this animation right here and we need to create frog jump right. So here we're going to say frog jump right. We're going to save that in the frog animations and I'm going to hit save button right here. We're going to have 60 or 30 frames here, but actually I'm going to say sample is 30, but we're going to have 18 frames. So take this one right here, the current frog one. This is going to be the first frame. Then we're going to take this one and put it right here. Let me first go on frame 17. Here it is. And take the frog underscore 3 and put it right there. What did I do? Frog underscore 2. And put, come on, man. Why isn't this not working? Okay, here it is. Actually, no, we need to take frog 3, excuse me. So frog 3 and put it right here. I hate when Unity plays with this. Okay, here we are. So frame 17, and let me just go here. Yeah, this is what we want. Now drag and drop frog 2. Unfortunately, this is a painful process, as I already mentioned, but this is game development. I don't expect you, or nobody does expect anybody to create a game like in 2 days. No, you cannot do that. If you want your game to have some cool effects, have some features, this and that, well, you need to take some time. So yeah, this is the time that you need to take. Drag and drop it here, drag and drop it here, and here, and here, and one more frame, I think. So 1, more frame, and we are done. So yeah, this is it. This is what we want. Let me just go back here, put the animation tab. This is what we want. So the frog is jumping like this, but we need to set the frog to jump to the right side, which means we are going to hit the record button and take the frog right here. I'm going to set the scale to negative here and go to frame 9. Make the frog something like this at the height, and make the frog something like this at the, well, left or right side, and make the frog jump like this right here. So now, if I preview the animation, this is what we have. And of course, we are going to take the X animation frame and move it right here. So now when we preview it, you see this is what we have. Exactly this right here. So again, yeah, this is the animation that we want. This is the frog jump right animation. We also need the frog jump left. So I'm going to go here and create a new clip. Excuse me, frog idle right. So frog idle right, hit enter, and we only have one frame, which is this one right here. So drag and drop it. But we do need to go here, hit the record button, take the frog and make its scale negative so that the frog is, well, facing the right side. And now if we go in the animator, we have frog idle left. We also have frog jump right and frog idle right. And frog jump left, of course. So now we have all of the animations that we need for our frog so that we can go back here. And here, if jump left is true, we are going to play frog jump left. Else, if it's not true, we are going to play frog jump right. Now, how are we going to determine how are we going to change which direction the frog jumps? Well, after we set the animation finished false, we're going to call jumped times plus plus. We're going to increase it here by 1. And when the animation finishes right here after before we actually play, it's after, we're going to test here if jump times is equal to 3. So we're going to allow the frog to jump 3 times to the left and 3 times to the right. If jump times is equal to 3, that means the frog has jumped to left or right side 3 times. We're going to say here jump times is equal to 0 to reset it back. And we're going to say here vector 3 dot or temp scale is now equal to transform local scale. Temp scale x is now equal to -1 or multiply that. So multiply that with equals to -1 like this. And transform a local scale is equal to temp scale like this. And now jump left. So jump left is equal to the opposite of jump left. We did this already. And we know that this will make what's after it, the exclamation mark will make what's after it the opposite. So if jump left is true, this will make it false. If jump left is false, this will make it true, which will mean or make that player or the frog jump now to the other side. Now also here, we need to test when the animation finishes. If we jump left, so if jump left is true, we are gonna play the idle left. Else, if it's not true, we need to play the idle right, like this, which will make the correct animation play based on if we are jumping left or we are jumping right. Now we are still not done. There is one more important thing to do, and that is go in Unity, select the frog itself, and in the animation for the frog's jump right, go here on the last frame and we need to add the animation event. Click on this right here, which will add the event, and we need to select the animation finished. If we don't select animation finished event, all of this will not work. So the frog will simply, jump from that same place over and over again. If I hit the play button now, and notice the frog will jump 3 times to the left. So 1, let us wait for 2 more, 2, 3, and now it's going to start jumping to the right. 1, and then 2, and 1 more, which is 3, and now it's going to start jumping to the left again. Bam and bam, 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 bam. You see what we did here? Now, the things that we have just learned from the frog animation is worth gold, because you can reuse this in your everyday development. You can now edit the existing animations. You can now add some new animations to your characters, which rarely somebody knows how to do, because you saw the problem that we had. It will repeat itself from the same spot over and over again. So now everything is okay, and the frog will be animated based on the parent that it has. So the frog's position in the animation will be independent in world space, which will allow us to, well, animate our characters just as we did. Now, again, what is happening here is simply that in our animation, or when the animation finishes and the animation has started, which we denote here. So when we jump, animation is started. That is set to true. When the animation finishes, we are here in the animation finish. So we are calling animation finish is true. So now both of these is true. Animation has finished and animation was started before that. So now we are simply saying the animation started is false to denote that this right here does not execute again. And simply we will set the transform's parent position to our own position, which is the game object that holds this script. And the position of the game object holding this script, the local position relative to the parent, is equal to 0. Fahir here from AwesomeTuts.com. I will see you guys in the next video.